the 19th of December 2023. My name is Micheal Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakoni, our sign language interpreter. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has commended Chinda Diocese for working with government of Uganda in the fight against poverty through socio-economic development programs. The president was meeting the Bishop of Chinda Diocese, the Right Reverend Dr. Joseph Anthony Zua, at State House, Entebbe. President Museveni further advised the diocese to guide people to select suitable and profitable enterprises. The president thanked Bishop Zua for guiding the people well with projects that can help them get out of poverty, citing growing of coffee and rearing of cows for milk, among others. He pledged to support the diocese in their continuous fight against the poverty problems. Bishop Zua conveyed greetings to the president from the Diocese of Chinda, as well as thanking him for being instrumental in promoting mechanized farming in not only Mityana but also in other parts of Uganda. He said whatever the diocese does is hinged on a slogan, "Let us witness to Christ in our homes, schools and at work." Bishop Zua also informed President Museveni that the diocese has solved people's socio-economic challenges in education, health and economic development.
That he belongs to the parish in town. Let this parish.
Ten people have been confirmed dead in an attack by Allied Democratic Forces, that is the ADF, who raided their home as others were picked from the garden. Kamwenge RDC Micheal Isaiah said that the attack occurred from Kitehurize village in Chavandara Parish, Kamwenge district.
ADF rebels carried out an attack in the middle of the night after coming from Chibale National Park, which left many people in shockwaves and others hacked to death using their sharp knives and pangas. Among the deceased include 5 females and 5 males. These were picked from the garden and others from a parish councillor whose name was identified as Knight Margaret, who was also murdered and burnt with other 4 people.
2 were cut off, their heads were beheaded, and the 4 were cut on the head and the arms, they were cut. One of them is our mom, a mother to Reverend Roland Inegiona. Is our priest in Northwest Ankole.
An eyewitness says the rebel entered into the house after locking the house.
One neighbor
People who were hacked come from Ishongororo Town Council in Uganda district, others from Chiruhura and Kamwenge.
Organization of the community to be vigilant and to ensure surveillance to make sure that whenever they see strangers, they make an alarm for their survival.
The Kamwenge RDC, Micheal Isaiah, says security has been beefed up as they continue hunting for attackers.
We have deployed, but we can't deploy to each and every family. That's why we are bringing the Wananchi on board to make sure that we intensify jointly man security of the area and security of humankind.
The bodies of the deceased have been taken to Rukunyu Hospital for postmortem.
UBC News Tonight. Meanwhile, the UPDF is pursuing the suspected ADF who attacked and killed 10 people in Kamwenge district. UPDF spokesperson Brigadier General Felix Kulaija says that the military suspects the attacker are the remains of the ADF who were attacked this week by the UPDF in Chibale forces. Speaking to UBC's Henry Baguma, Brigadier Kulaija said that the incident should not cause anxiety and panic, saying that the UPDF is in control.
It is true, early this morning, the remnants of the group that was of ADF that were attacked in the Chibale Forest Reserve did attack a village in Kamwenge where they killed 10 people as they were scavenging for food.
Okay, so 10 people is a very big number, sir. Definitely, it is very even threatening.
Yes, 10 people is a big number. Even one person dying is not acceptable. So we are hunting down this group since morning. We must get them and give them what they deserve.
Yes, what is preliminary information indicating? Are they ADF rebels? Could they be internal people? What sort of group could these be, sir?
They are ADF rebels. I've told you we attacked them in Chiwari Forest last week, where we killed 2 and wounded the commander. So these are remnants of that group that was attacked last week.
So right now, what's the latest on the ground in Kamwenge? It must be a very fearful situation on the ground.
Well, not fearful as such. The military has already been seen in the area, and so people have regained the confidence.
So I know it is still too early maybe to describe the whole situation. This kind of attack, because Kamwenge is far from the Uganda DRC Congo border, how could they have penetrated through up to that level?
There is a small group that has been loitering in the Chiwari Forest, and we believe the attackers came from that group.
Final message, sir, because now it's about Christmas and end of year, and given this type of situation, the people must be fearing completely throughout Uganda.
No, they are not fearing, because these are isolated incidents. I would only encourage them to be vigilant, monitor what is happening in their areas, and collaborate with the security so that we continue to serve them. This was an unfortunate incident, just like those which have happened before. Some of these groups that think they can divert us from DRC, but we shan't be diverted, because internally we have the capacity to deal with them as well.
So is there any new measures you are putting in place right now? Because Christmas is just days and a new year, definitely. I would imagine the situation on the ground, both in Kamwenge and throughout Western Uganda.
We have continued our vigilance. We have continued the patrols to ensure that security is maintained. And indeed, we want to assure the people that the festive season will go peacefully. They only have to be vigilant also to know who is in their area and cooperate with us to serve them.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
The Office of the Prime Minister has officially received the new Permanent Secretary, Dunstan Balaba. Balaba replaces the late Keith Mwakanizi, who passed away in April this year. The acting PS, Rose Alenga, handed over office to Balaba and witnessed by the Prime Minister, Robin Nabanja, during the senior top management meeting at the Office of the Prime Minister in Kampala.
While handing over office to the new permanent secretary, the outgoing acting permanent secretary, Rose Alenga, thanked the Prime Minister for entrusting her with the responsibility since June 2023. Alenga says that there are some concerns that need to be tackled by the new permanent secretary, including the unending investigations that are a stumbling block in the execution of duties by various civil servants.
In a special way, I wish to thank the Right Honourable Prime Minister for the trust and confidence in me and for the strategic guidance during the last 6 months. I thank the Right Honourable Deputy Prime Ministers and the Honourable Ministers for your support. Thank you so much for guiding me on a number of issues. To my colleagues, the technical officers, I thank you for your dedication, for your commitment, professionalism, and above all, your support and belief in me. We have worked together, tackled the challenges together, and established ourselves as a team.
Dunstan Balaba boasts of over 32 years of experience in civil service. He is joining the Office of the Prime Minister to carry on the predecessor's work and calls for teamwork. Balaba promises to take up the mantle and plans to build on teamwork, timeliness, and image building.
I joined a team of the Office of the Prime Minister to add another block. I want to thank those who have been there before me, have done what they could, also do what is within the means to be done. I want to thank you, Right Honourable Prime Minister, and the team for steering the Office of the Prime Minister. Coordination and implementation of government programs, being the lead of government business in the parliament, but also the special programs that are in the ministry. I am aware also the Prime Minister is big. It is seen here. It is the only one where you get this number of ministers. And I want to assure Right Honourable Prime Minister and the ministers that I am ready to take on the mantle and work together as a team.
The district chairman Buyukwe, Jimmy Kanabi, where Balaba was working as the chief administrative officer, thanked the president for appointing Balaba as the permanent secretary in the office of the prime minister. The Prime Minister, Right Honourable Robinah Nabbanja, welcomed the new permanent secretary and promised the necessary support.
And I want to thank the President for choosing you to be the permanent secretary of the office of the Prime Minister. The office of the Prime Minister has been moving despite a few challenges here and there. We have been doing a lot of work, and a number of accomplishments have been attained. By the way, the President has so far given us 71 assignments. Out of 71, 56 are done. 56 are done. I want to take this honor and the opportunity to thank Rose Alenga for the work well done. You have kept us moving. You have been a very strong woman. Please, that's something you can use Rose because she has mastered a lot of experience.
The first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, Rebecca Kadaga, Second Deputy Prime Minister, General Moses Ali, and all the other ministers at the Office of the Prime Minister were present at the function. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has met stakeholders of the Mbale School for the Deaf and discussed strategies of solving the management wrangles. Issues raised were that the school meant for persons with hearing impairment has also been admitting ordinary learners who infringe on the benefits of the deaf. We apologize for that story. We'll rectify it and have it in our subsequent bulletin. Now, government through the Minister for Kampala, Hajat Minsa Kabanda, has pledged to pay 370 billion Uganda shillings to businessman Bosco Kamwenge for the 10-acre piece of land in Kisenyi that is housing street vendors and hawkers who were evicted from Kampala city streets in 2022. In a meeting at Parliament between Speaker Anita Mong, Minister Kabanda, Bosco Kamwenge and the hawkers, the Speaker asked the Minister to speed up the processes of settling Mwenge to ensure that the hawkers and vendors can get this land permanently and start work.
In a petition dated 27th November 2023 to the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, vendors and hawkers were unhappy with the 14 days ultimatum by Boost Investment Limited to vacate Kisenyi land that was given to them in November 2022 by government as their trading space. In the same petition, the vendors and hawkers requested an appointment with the Speaker, a meeting that has taken place today.
I received a petition from the hawkers, and in the petition that the landlord was chasing them away from where they are having their businesses. About 40,000 hawkers and vendors are in the said land, and that's why I thought it wise, Honorable Minister, to call you. So we agreed that government is going to buy that land. Mr. Kamwenge has been paying for water and electricity in that land, and we thank him. We are so grateful for that. But since that time, the price was a bit high, as Parliament decided, but then the government valuer valued it at $9.6 million, and we agreed that at least we should go by that government valuer's price, and we buy it.
The meeting was called by the Speaker and attended by the Minister for Kampala, businessman Kamwenge, vendors and hawkers. The Speaker asked government to speed up the process of settling Mwenge and also ensure that vendors and hawkers get this piece of land permanently.
Mbanjagala wakiri ne bampandikira ne bangamba nti kino naye kati maze mwaka tewali kintu kyonna kye nnyina bannange.
But you see, like what he says, that it needs to be written true. It needs a commitment. You need to go through a procurement process and ensure that we are taking this land and we shall be paying in phases. Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to assure you that we are going to work on that as soon as possible before the end of this year.
The Minister pledged to settle the matter in a phased manner.
But we also want to request Mr. Mwenge, since we are in negotiation with the government and government has showed a commitment on paying that land, kindly don't evict the hawkers and the vendors, because I saw you've given them an ultimatum of 14 days. Don't evict these people. These are our people.
Ate kati abavenda bantu bange ate nyizo bakuba tikisoboka. Abo tugenda kubeera nabo gye binakira. Yes.
Businessman Kamwenge said government had failed to conclude the possibility of buying off the land. The land in question is a 10 acres piece of land located in Chisenyi worth shillings 370 billion. Shamem Naiga and Gloria Gwitabinji, Parliament.
NEMA has evicted encroachers living and working along Lubiji Wetland at Busega Mitiana Road to restore the wetland. Containers, residential structures, nursery beds and other structures were destroyed. Locals acknowledged warning through they contemplated their survival, while NEMA senior PRO states that the timing was to discourage people from using the territory as a base for activities during the festive season.
The National Environment Management Authority has cleared the Lubiji wetland at Busega roundabout Mitiana Road to restore the wetland system. The joint operation involved the Ministry of Water and Environment, the National Environment Management Authority, Environment Police Protection Unit, Kampala Capital City Authority, Umeme, State House and Corruption Unit, the Presidential Special Task Force on Land Matters and Environment, and Uganda National Roads Authority.
We want to let everyone understand and know that NEMA is not joking. We are not joking this time. We are here, we are back, and we shall evict you. Whoever is here and you are not wanted, please go. Today is the last day, please go.
The exercise involved blocking pathways used by encroachers to operate in the wetland.
Because we want to restore this place back to its former glory.
This area has been a source of papyrus as a raw material to design papyrus mats and other products. Those with movable items were allowed to retrieve their property, while those absent had their property destroyed, since prior notice was issued to those affected in the exercise. The activity also targeted concrete works, the lorry park, taxi park, washing bays, containers and unauthorized structures, and cutting down trees in the nursery beds.
But we are asking them to put these seedlings in the right places. Some of them are on the road. This is against the rules.
Wetlands provide papyrus, medicinal plants, trees, reeds, fish, water for domestic use, and are a hunting ground, hence the need to protect them.
Lorry driver and construction.
We shifted from lorry driving and construction, arriving here with government approval and land purchase. Wakiso district acknowledges us with clear operating boundaries and the environment team. When we arrived, there was no environment team. We acquired this land from its previous occupants.
By environment,
but because the team will be thin on ground, we knew that people will take disadvantage and camp in these areas that are prohibited. That's why we are doing it now to keep them off this wetland.
In 2021, the National Environment Management Authority halted the issuance of permits for wetland activities and is now focusing on clearing the still standing wetland. We were warned about 2 months ago, but the issue is we don't know where to go. However, there are individuals directly involved in agricultural activities in the wetland, yet attention is focused on us on the dry surface.
NEMA is not here to force people to go, no, but we are telling them you must go because of the common good of a wetland.
This eviction supplements the earlier operation conducted on the 13th of October 2023, aimed to restore some sections of Rubiji wetland. Those who had returned in the wetland after being evicted previously have been apprehended. On 20th December 2023, a joint operation is to be conducted on the Nansan and Abweru Road Rubiji wetland section. This activity is an enforcement of the presidential directive to remove all encroachers operating in the Rubiji wetland. NEMA is mandated under the National Environment Act to regulate, monitor, supervise and coordinate all activities related to the environment in Uganda. Ivan Kahwa and Adia Nakuti, UBC News.
The 2 days of testing for the non-aligned movement and G77 China summits ended with participation of teams focusing on how they can simultaneously receive heads of states and heads of delegations alongside their delegations, as well as handling departing delegations. This was at Entebbe International Airport at both the commercial and VVIP terminals.
Tulina soda era nsabye abaana ba Ghetto bonna baba bajja begayirire mu aba Ghetto temuleeta byammwe mu nsawo kubanga
Ghetto Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Ghetto Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metobusafrica.com.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Fun battery phone.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
In this family, we can't agree on anything.
Martha.
We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndowoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Alina Echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
Meet Stone Atwine, the co-founder of Eversend, a startup that is building financial technology from Uganda to the world. From currency exchange to business banking, Stone and his team are doing it all. Stone embodies the grit and the commitment to take a startup from nothing to something. Stone, keep building. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Download the Eversend app and together, let's support Ugandans like Stone who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
I got it. What do you mean you got it? Have you won a lottery?
Yes, this is kind of like a lottery to me.
Let me see. But these are your receipts now.
Yes, exactly my point. See, I had tax areas that had accumulated for a while now, and I was burdened by the penalties and the interest. But guess what? All I had to do was to pay my principal tax, and now I'm free.
What?
Yes.
How? I mean, it's impossible.
It is possible. The government has done it. Yes, the government has given a chance to all taxpayers to pay their outstanding principal tax that accrued until 30th of June with no interest or penalties.
But now they're really
Imagine, yes! So yeah, all you have to do is simply pay your principal tax and enjoy the waiver on penalties and interest. And this goes up to the end of December 2023.
How do I do that to also enjoy the waiver?
All you have to do is simply pay your principal tax to benefit from waiver on interests and penalties that runs till end of December 2023. Pay your outstanding principal tax using the available payment channels or simply dial *285# or visit the nearest URA office for guidance before 31st December 2023. Remember, this chance comes only once.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
We thank you so much for watching. We now continue with news tonight. The preparations for the mega launch of the Ghetto Youth Structure Circles by the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, are complete. Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, Hajat Misa Kabanda, has called upon all ghetto structures to come celebrate with the President. Meanwhile, the coordinator of the MK movement, Balam Barugahari, calls upon all the youth from different ghettos to come for the launch. President Museveni will launch over 1,300 ghetto youth circles from different ghetto structures all over the country.
Tulina soda era nsabye abaana ba ghetto bonna baba bajja beegayirire mu aba ghetto temuleeta byammwe mu nsawo kubanga ba SFC bagenda baaza babijjemu. Oweekitiibwa minisita zino teziba mu faamu ya Muzeeyi Museveni baleese ente 10 naye ku 10 twakasalako ente 6 so n'abeesigadde abaana babaddeyo eka bajja kuddayo n'akanyama buli omuntu ajja ekolola enkya ajje n'akaveera jangu n'obuveera so zino kiro tusuubira okufuna wakati wa kiro 3,000 ez'ennyama ate tusobola tugenda kubeera n'omuceere loole Geno damule yagireesa aze n'omuceere kimanyi givugudde yaleese omuceere tuwezeza kiro kati 3,000 tulinawo obumonde buno obuva ekisolo buno bulaba buno kala kamonde kawomera mu nyama kano kalaba kakwate mulabe kano kawomera mu nyama tokalabangako kano hajeti n'ebino byonna lunaku lwa barasita nkya abageto abaana abantu b'ebutambala
For our boys and girls, the ghetto fraternity, we are going to celebrate our day, Christmas, before Christmas celebrations. Then we are going to launch the circles, 1,300 circles of the ghetto people. So we are launching them tomorrow. President Museveni is going to launch them. This is a sign that President loves us, President loves everybody without discrimination. So come everybody here tomorrow. By 9 a.m. we should be here. We are going to spend the whole day here celebrating our Christmas, then our end of year, and our leadership in Kampala and Uganda as a whole.
That is basmati rice. Those are over 4 tons of rice. And meat, we have close to 10 tons of meat. And we intend to serve katogo in the morning.
The Omukama Kabalega was king of Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom, who took over power from his father Kamurasi, but led the kingdom during turbulent times when colonialism was at its peak in the Uganda territory. During the war with the British, he camped in the current Dokolo district at a place called Kangai, together with Kamwenge of Buganda. They were later captured in 1899 and imprisoned in Seychelles Islands. He died at Mpumu the Hill in the current Jinja City. But Kangai, which is historical with different remains and developed despite commemorating a man who resisted colonialism. Abiona Francisco tells a story here.
Coming into contact with the Arab world for trade opened up the once closed societies to the foreign world, including Uganda. This was followed by Islamic and Christian influences in a struggle to win converts that resulted into conflict and eventually religious wars. In 1884, Buganda's Kabaka Mutesa I died, and the young Kabaka Mwanga took over the throne. The foreign ideology seemed to threaten the state. When Kabaka Mwanga attempted to halt it, the armed converts deposed him in 1888, went into hiding and escaped to Bunyoro. Bunyoro was not part of the religious wars affecting Buganda. It was united by its king, Chua II Kabalega, who had several regiments armed with guns.
Buganda realized that the colonials were more powerful weaponry than what the Buganda could do, because Buganda and Bunyoro were at par. First of all, Buganda and Bunyoro, we have never been enemies.
After Captain Lugard had secured Buganda, he moved to annex Bunyoro and the rest of the areas. Gerard Poto and later MacDonald and Colonel Colville replaced him. In December 1893, Colonel Colville invaded Bunyoro in a full-scale war against Omukama Kabalega. Kabalega engaged colonial troops in guerrilla warfare. Mwanga joined the fight against British colonialism. The battles pushed them to Lango region. On 9th April 1899, the two leaders were discovered at Oyom near Kangai in Dokolo sub-county.
In April, 29th April 1899, Chwatu Kabalega, the sovereign king of Bunyoro, was captured on the battlefield after suffering an injury. He forcefully laid his arms down, and we lost our sovereignty. We became an unoccupied country.
This is Kangai Trading Center, 18 kilometers south of Dokolo Town Council in Dokolo District. In this terrain seemed to have been the last engagement between Kabalega and Mwanga forces against the colonial forces led by Lieutenant Colonel Evans. At Aguta village in Kangai sub-county, UBC met David Otieka, the parish chief and caretaker of the sites.
True, these people were captured here. Historically, it is known that they came here in 1899. As they tried to run away from the colonial rule, because they were resisting. Then they crossed Lake Kwania and came to a place in this same sub-county called Adengnino. They tried to settle there. They had a tower there, a watchtower, which they could, their soldiers could climb, watch whoever was crossing the lake to follow them.
About 200 meters to the east along the Kangai-Kaberamaido road are the two separate sites where Kabaka Mwanga and Omukama Kabalega were captured. The sites are two pyramidal monuments erected in the gardens on opposite sides of the road in Aguta village.
This place is one of the places where these Kabakas were said to be arrested. This was where Kabalega had settled. Mwanga is on the other side because they were staying some meters apart. This site is for the Kabaka Mwanga. Together, they came in the same year, they were moving together, but the monument itself was put in 1974 during Amin's time. This tree you see, we don't have even a name. We call it Mwanga tree because it is said to have been planted by them.
Just along this road is a ditch, which according to residents was a store for supplies. There are similar ditches elsewhere within this area.
It is believed to be one of the holes they had dug. They would use it for keeping some of their things. Yes, some weapons. Other holes within the area, but it has got filled up with the soil with the time.
But surprisingly, unlike other historical sites in Uganda, Kangai Trading Center is not developed. Most buildings are old, with only one operational shop and bars that open at night.
Oh, bino ebifo wegamba era bibaddewo okuva dda naye nga kyetuganyuddwamu ennyo era tewali kubanga byo bibaddewo naye nga tewali kyamaanyi nnyo kyetubadde tufunamu awo. Kirina engeri gye kikoseddwamu ddala lwa nsonga nti engeri y'entambula ebanzibu kuba ebintu ebijja mu kibuga kati nga nze wano ebintu mbijja mu kibuga Mbale. Kati okuva eyo okutuuka wano amakubo okuva eyo gonna mabiga gabigenda okutuuka wano ng'ate birinnye ne bbeeyi ebintu bya buseere. Gamba amakubo amafuta na byonna bw'obibala naawe emmotoka naye agenda n'akukyajinga sente nyingi nnyo bali gye batundirako embala ogenda okwekanga ate sijja oteekwa okutundirako wano lwaki olwa transport.
Residents decry high costs of doing business. The fewer visitors to the sites have not benefited the area at all, and the residents seek government intervention.
Okwegamba ekifo ekyo walibadde oba kisoboka gavumenti etuyamba oba neteekawo oba ng'ekkolero oba akatale ak'amaanyi kwegamba ne tukatuuma mu mannya g'abantu abo oba Kabalega oba Mwanga akatale kali awo nga k'amaanyi awo tulyoka tukikulaakulana n'ekitundu.
Such historical sites are important to the country's young generation. The capture of Buganda's Kamwenge and Omukama Kabalega of Bunyoro Kingdom ended the interlacustrine traditional states and introduced the British rule, which came to an end in 1962 with a new political entity called Uganda. Abiana Francisco, UBC, Kangai.
Renowned Pan-Africanism Professor Plo Lumumba has raised an issue of honoring legacies of African forefathers who fought and defended Africa from invasion by colonial intruders. He and other historians were discussing the role of culture in promotion of development, the case of Africa at the inaugural memorial lecture of the Bunyoro King Kabalega 100 years after his death.
Indigenous knowledge cannot be lost anyhow.
Memory.
To the extent that we work and produce for the white man.
Legacy.
Caesarean sections in Europe, advanced Europe, would kill the mother and save the child. In Bunyoro, it is significant because we are able to save the mother and the child.
And honor.
And therefore, remembering the contributions of our great hero in resisting the colonial invasion is very relevant today.
Arise during commemoration of Omukama Kabalega, who suffered the treat of colonial masters to save his kingdom. With courage and determination, Kabalega fought the colonialists, despite the Maxim gun, which disorganized his resilience. He was defeated in 1899, exiled and eventually died in 1923 at Impumude Hill, near the current Jinja City in Busoga sub-region. During a memorial lecture, 100 years after his death, celebrating his legacy is worth the gesture.
They came to us and they told us that our cultures were not good, so that even today, as I speak to you, instead of addressing you in Kiswahili or Kinyoro or Luganda, they have captured our tongues, that I am now speaking to you in a foreign tongue. I look forward to the day when in an assembly such as this, I'll address you in the Kiswahili language. I look forward to that day.
Professor Pielo Olumumba, on Kabalega's legacy, raises the question of preserving culture for development.
The time is now for Africa to recognize that if we do not protect ourselves, other cultures will come and dominate us. The time is now for Africa to realize that our languages must be protected, otherwise we'll be speaking Chinese and Indian as our mother tongue, although they were never our mothers.
In doing so, the emphasis on the current education system could be revisited. This is another emphasis that Professor Pielo Olumumba put forward as part of culture being a factor in promoting development.
So those of you who are Baganda here, be proud Bagandas. Those of you who are Toros, be proud Toros. Those of you who are Basoga, be proud Sogas. Those of you who are Zulus, be proud Zulus. Those of you who are Luos, be proud Luos. Those of you who are Lango, be proud Langos. And those of you who are Bunyoro, because we are in your midst, be proud Bunyoro, because it is only in that way that combined together we shall produce an African spirit. And in the spirit of Africanness, I can tell you, it is not going to be easy. There are going to be many roadblocks. We will rise and fall. We will rise and fall. We will rise and fall. But ultimately, we will stand, and history will remember us as those who rise and rise and rise. God bless you.
Other Kabalega celebrants agreed with various calls, including preserving of literature of African heroes.
That Kabalega's strengths lay in management of diversity. That is what he had that his predecessors didn't have, the Kamratsis. He managed how to manage diversity of the Banyoro indigenous, the Bachope, and the Bagungu.
Where can a Ugandan who wants to learn about the culture of Uganda get the books? Where do I get the literature? Where would our students, we are talking about the love for your culture, where do I get it?
You don't have to be a journalist like me. You don't have to be obsessed with writing and reading like me, but try to put pen to paper what you are experiencing.
Such may preserve legacy, but is it enough? This is a question that Asinas Nyakato posed and answered at the same time.
To honor 6 April every year as a public holiday. And on this public holiday, of course, things like public memorial lectures will be taking place, but also our children, the great-grandchildren of Kabalega will also be inducted into knowing the history of Bunyoro.
She wants an institute established in honor of the King Kabalega.
I also want to call upon the people of Bunyoro and the government of Uganda to honor some of these prayers, the remaining prayers, like giving the people of Bunyoro a public university.
The Inojiro Kabalega Memorial Lecture was held at Serena Hotel in Kampala. This was under the theme, The Role of Culture in Promotion of Development, the Case of Africa. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Roma Limited banno abakolera Better Wine omuli ebika ebya Golden Wine, Special Wine, Hibiscus Wine. Kakati nno bakutuusaako Hibiscus Juice ye juice akoleddwa okuyamba mu abalina pressure, sukali, abaagala okusala embuto n'amasavu, okunaaza obucaafu mu mubiri, wamu n'abo abalina abaana abalwalalwala. Ky'olina okukola kati abaana bo bawe Hibiscus Juice, naawe yandyetaaza okwongera obutafaali bw'abasirikale mu mubiri, weeyunire Hibiscus Juice. Hibiscus Juice musange mu supermarkets n'amaduuka gonna mu ggwanga. Gw'omusuubuzi nawe amwetaaze, genda ku Roma Limited nga basangibwa Wandegeya ku kizimbe kya Micheal wakati wa poliisi y'e Wandegeya ne YMCA. Hibiscus Juice ali mu mills 5 n'ebisatu. Okumanya ebisingawo kuba essimu 0772506155 oba 0704161398. Nywanga Hibiscus Juice ku lw'obulungi bw'omubiri gwo.
Tugabane big, tugabane. Share with your loved ones, tugabane. Gabula tulita kwe sabula. First tips is on eno. Tugabane. Pepsi Mountain Dew Mirinda. Twalira ko jajja mu kyalo tolinda. Drink at home on Christmas. You can even keep some for both singing day. Tugabane big, tugabane. Flavor for your loved ones, tugabane. Big meals ne memories sabula. First tips is on eno. Tugabane. Grab a Pepsi hamper of any 2-2-liter of your choice and get a free Pepsi Max 330 ml. Share the cheer this festive season with Pepsi. Tukabane!
Business news tonight. Entrepreneurs have been awarded $400,000 in seed funding following a partnership between the United States African Development Foundation and Stanbic Uganda Holdings Limited. The 5-year, $2 million partnership provides development grants to micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, cooperatives and producer groups in Uganda to help them address gaps in their internal systems and capabilities to 100% meet investment requirements by commercial investors.
Incubator Limited, also a subsidiary of Stanbic Bank Holdings Limited, are the implementers of the project.
$40,000 up to $250,000 is a lot of money that can really be a shot in the arm for these SMEs. But beyond that program, yes, there is money, but they have to be investment ready. Do they know how to open bank accounts? Do they know how to market their businesses? Know how to package their services? Do they know how to remit taxes and all that? So I believe the Stanbic Incubator with the other partners are working with them to formalize and be ready to receive this capital, but allow them to grow.
The executive director and head of business banking at Stanbic Bank, Emma Mugisha, said this will catalyze agricultural growth in Uganda.
You want to come and engage with partners who are already ready. It makes your market entry much easier. So my appeal is let these international partners come and support the SMEs. But also, for me, the message here is it's not about, how do I call it, free money. Uganda is almost the address for profit and for money in the region is Uganda. PO Box money, I believe, is Uganda.
The Director of Program Operations for Africa at USADF, Timothy Nzioka, said there will be tools that will help them address the challenges.
And our main focus is the agricultural sector, SMEs within the entire value chain from production to markets. We also have a big component on renewable energy and youth and women. However, the current partnership with Stanbic Business Incubator, this is our first cohort. We set up this program early in the year, and we are looking at SMEs that are not investor ready, because we know that SMEs, not only in Uganda, but across sub-Saharan Africa, they provide very important aspects of our development, and that is employment creation, goods and services.
The aim is to address gaps faced by small and medium enterprises in qualifying for investments, link them to Stanbic, Uganda and other financial institutions for potential follow-up on post-grant commercial investment.
Uganda is a very entrepreneurial country, and we believe that if we support some of the SMEs, we'll see them actually grow into bigger companies. So we want to develop this area and develop these SMEs so that we can see them grow into bigger companies. If we support them not only with the money, but also training, business development, markets, then we will see better SMEs at the end of the day.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
We now talk sport. Finals for the Uganda Boxing Championships League are on come the 26th of this month at Uma Showgrounds in Lugogo. Fighters will battle in different weight categories, including the bantamweight, featherweight, middle, bantam and heavyweight category respectively. The most exciting fight will be between Ukasha Matovu and Owen Chibida in the featherweight category. Johan Chobe faces Kasim Mulungi in the bantamweight category.
Yes, for the first time, of course, we are introducing belts into what you would call Olympic boxing or amateur boxing, but in our case, same professional boxing. Because first, by law, we are mandated by the government to run boxing in the country. So we need to start preparing for professional boxing by making our boxers get used to these kind of things. because that's what the law stipulates us to do. And I think that's the future for sport, but also it's a great motivation. Anyone who will win the belt, they will be walking around town in their communities with this belt, showing that truly they are champions of that weight. This is confirmation. If there's anyone who has a bit of doubt, this will be proof that I'm the champion of 52 kilograms. For example, now this is 52 kgs for women. So the woman who will have this will be like, I am the champion, here is the proof. And that's what has been lacking. And plus also, it's the most precious, I think, belt in the country, because as I indicated, there have been people who are trying to do professional boxing and they pick fighters from wherever with belts that don't even hold that much water. We think this is going to be very precious because of what someone goes through to win it. For you to get this belt, you have to box from novices to the opens, from the opens, then for 1 year, sometimes in the national team, and at the closing of the season, you're able to win this way. So it takes you about 2 years to win it.
That is all we had for you at this particular moment. We'll catch you at 10 p.m. with another arrangement still of news tonight. My name is Micheal Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakon and the whole team. Let's catch you then. Enjoy the evening.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. (1955) Banda Conference. Drawing on the principles agreed at the Banda Conference in 1955, the non-aligned movement was formally established in Belgrade.